Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to another trading session. Well, I hope you're doing well, first of all. Today we will have a bank holiday. So those who don't know, bank holidays usually tend to be a low probability session. And so for low probability sessions, we just tape read or demo trade. We don't take actual trades on low probability days. So it can be a high probability day, but the protocol says that whenever you have a bank holiday, you should wait for the next day, because they can eventually give us low probability conditions, which means that sometimes the setups can be there, but they will not deliver as usual, and not with the usual probability to get to our drawn liquidity. So it can be some kind of a strange behavior type of market. So that's why we just tape read and demo on days like the bank holiday. But let's get straight to the price action, and let's take a look at what FOMC did yesterday. As you can see here, yesterday's price action on the New York session, on the New York AM session, on the pre-FOMC, we were expecting an expansion to the upside. It really gave us the expansion to the upside, but stopped right at the N walk that we mentioned here yesterday. And then we had the normal and usual delivery of FOMC news driver, and it was quite fun. I was observing it. Price really tried to get above the N walk here, but was never capable of it. So on the second try, it kind of rejected it. It went below this line here that I have here. So this is the event horizon, so the midpoint in between both N walks. And as soon as it went down, it kind of retested it once again. It retested once, twice, 3 times, and then it kind of went down. Asia gave us some displacement to the downside as well. It kind of formed a 1 hour fair value gap, which was here, which was respected. It kind of retested it right at the top of it, but came down. London progressed even lower, taking out Asia lows. And then price just started to consolidate, and eventually at 8 o'clock, it started to went down once again. And price is really now inside of 2 N walks. This is an old one. This is the actual N walk, the N walk from this week's price action. And yeah, what am I expecting? Yeah, that's the right question, and I think that's the question that everyone is asking. I will not trade any real account. I will just tape read or eventually demo, since it's a bank holiday. But yeah, I'm eventually expecting previous week's low, Friday's low, as our major sell side point. So this is the drawn liquidity that I'm expecting for today's action. And yeah, if you look at it, you can see some kind of a consolidation here right before, or accumulation, whatever you want to call it, right before 9:30. So then before 9:30, we had some kind of manipulation. I would guess this is the manipulation. It can go a little bit higher, but what I'm expecting to see next is some kind of a expansion to the downside. I believe that we will go lower for the next 2 days, so including Thursday. So Thursday and Friday will be probably days where price will go lower. We will eventually have Friday as our low of the week, since if you look at price action on a weekly basis, so this marks, just let me check the calendar. So 16 was, yeah, this was the price action on Monday. So Monday delivered as the high of the week. Then eventually between Tuesday and Wednesday, we just consolidated, as you can see here, the levels which price we're playing in. Yeah, they kind of ranged a bit, and we started to deliver lower on Thursday, and I'm expecting to continue lower until Friday. So we might get a move down here, since the week I mean the high of the week is already in place, and I don't believe that we will go further up in price action for the rest of the week. So right now, price is playing really inside of a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. We kind of opened right here at 9:30. 9:30 open. The only thing that is really probably not giving me the confidence that price will reach right now for Friday's low is that if you go to the regular trading hours, there's a huge gap here in between the close of yesterday's price action and the open of today's price action. So this marks a 42 handles of difference. So I will mark this one. Price will close here, and it opened right here. So this will mark the opening range gap where price can eventually come and seek for some kind of equilibrium. But I'm not that into it, honestly. I think that we will go lower and primarily reach for Friday's low. So right now, price is respecting bearish order flow. It respected the 15-minute fair value gap. It is giving us the first presented fair value gap right here, so I will mark this one as well. This is the first presented fair value gap. And yeah, I will take this out here just to get a cleaner sight of what price is really doing. And yeah, that's the plan for today. It's a bank holiday, so you should not get into any trades, or if you're willing to do so, just do it on demo. That's why I have this warning here. So price is really digging to the downside. I'm expecting it to eventually do some type of, or give us some type of entry near the macro. And yeah, I'm just waiting for it, honestly. So the first minutes gave us just a swing low. Usually when anything like that happens, you have to be cautious about it because it can act as a Judas swing where price deceives you in in this direction and eventually gives you some kind of a reversal. But since the draw is down here, I believe that the Judas swing was this high here, this up leg. We have this fair value gap, the bullish one that got inverted. So for now, price action is kind of clean. So we have an inversion inside a bearish high time frame for value gap. Next, we presented the first presented for value gap. Price never came into it, and it's reaching down here. So I guess the next targets are, in fact, Friday's low. So let's wait a bit just to see if price really wants to go there. If we look into the projections here, we can eventually see that yeah, this is the last swing high inside the 1 minute time frame. So if we project this into our draw, we can see that clearly -4 has a lot of confluence for Friday's low. I'm expecting to see price coming down, eventually go for -2 or -2.5 standard deviation, offers some kind of a retrace to the upside that would eventually happen in between the time window that the macro offers, and that would give us the entry to the downside. So if price does not go straight to Friday's low, it can eventually give us something like this. So price comes to -2.5, really retraces, comes up, and eventually at 950, the what's left for the lower leg will eventually develop. So -2 standard deviation. If you are already short from somewhere here, this could eventually give us the bearish entry as soon as we got rejection from the 15-minute time frame and an inversion of this bullish fair value gap. If you entered somewhere here, this should be the place to take out some partials, because we never know. Price can eventually come back and search for some higher liquidity, since if you open the regular trading hours, you can see that price really left a big gap behind, and it's not willing to go back to retest it for now. So something like this can eventually happen as well, where price starts to reach for this inefficiency on price. But yeah, we will have to wait and see if that really will happen or not. So looking into the 2 minutes, the 2 minute has been just a drive to the downside. No time for entries right now, nothing to enter, just a move to the downside. Yeah, sometimes price can eventually give us, we know where price wants to go, but it is so heavy or so or so one-sided that we cannot interact with it. It doesn't give us the opportunity to do so. As you can see, price came down a little bit more, stopped right at minus 2.5 standard deviation. So for now, everything is into place and into what we were expecting from price. Everything seems to be clear right now. So what I would like to see is a continuation of the downside, respecting bearish PD arrays like these fair value gaps here. Something like this would get me interested in shorting if price really comes near this fair value gap here or a bit above, and then loses some strength and then decides to go lower. This could eventually trigger some shorts, but just on demo. I prefer to stay disciplined on respecting my rules and my protocol than just to open something on a day that I should not do it and eventually take a loss. Yeah, but everything is clean right now. That's one thing that I've noticed from price, that all these bank holidays or non or low probability sessions, they have not been that low probability, honestly. They have been quite clear. Yesterday was another case of that. If you look into the low probability session that is pre FOMC, price action was kind of clean here. It gave us 1, 2 entries for the expansion higher that we were expecting. And yeah, price can do something like this on low probability conditions. But yeah, it's never certain. So you should take that in mind and play it safe. So price really came to minus 2.5 standard deviation here. The folks that eventually have been selling since here should have taken the majority of their profits out around here. So now let's see if price wants to dig a little bit lower, resisting to break through this fair value gap, or if we will just take out this fair value gap and start to march higher, since this is a zone where price can eventually retrace back. Let me just take a look at the regular trading hours here. Eventually on higher time frames as well. So yeah, we have this sell side here on regular trading hours, which is almost taken. This sell side liquidity, but I will mark this as regular trading hours. So I will switch once again to extended trading hours, or electronic trading hours. And another displacement to the downside here. So sell side as the regular trading hours has been taken. Now let's see if we got if we will have Friday's low. So very clean price action to the downside here. Price is kind of heavy since it left all these fair value gaps open. No retracements at all. Even this order block on the -2 standard deviation was kind of respected. Another low here. Looking at NQ, NQ is it's doing the same. It's kind of heavy as well. And it already reached for Friday's low. So I'm expecting something to happen as soon as we hit Friday's low. So the main draw is already taken, almost taken. And as soon as as soon as it is taken, we will have to reformulate our plan, because then price can eventually retrace back and trying to balance some of that inefficiency. So yeah, Friday's low has been taken, so the drawn liquidity has been hit. This was quite a run to the downside, just like expected. Clean price action, clean drop. Nice tape reading once again here. And prices just moving to the downside. If you notice here, we have another N walk down here. So let's see now if we will have some type of an inversion or not. Since we have 950 macro approaching, 1 minute for it. I will mark event horizon in between these two NWOGs as well. So the event horizon should be somewhere near the midpoint of these two, which is right at Friday's low. This is not a coincidence, guys. This is a signature of the algorithm. So I will mark event horizon here. Event horizon will help me to consider if we will go lower or if price wants to reach higher. If event horizon is used as resistance here, then we will probably go lower. But if event horizon will be used as support, then we can consider a run to the upside, since we have this inefficiency here, this gap here. So, and price can eventually come for that, but I don't know. At this point, we went down a lot already. I don't know if price is willing to give us a run to the upside. So I will wait for it and wait to see what will happen inside this macro. So I will put this one here. Event horizon here. I will mark this fair value gap here. So yeah, just let me check here if I would enter somewhere here around the first presented fair value gap until, yeah, that would be a nice trade here. So price is inside the macro now. So two things can eventually happen, or it will start to invert these bearish PD arrays, or it will just continue to the downside. And I have event horizon here to help me figure out if it will be a resistance or support. Right now it is kind of acting as a resistance here. We still have some more liquidity below us. We still have the lows of the 2nd of June. Just let me mark those ones. Yeah, we have the lows of the 3rd of June as well. Yeah, we got some liquidity below. So yeah, guys, what about you guys? Are you trading today? Are you just tape reading? Are you just taking demo? What are you guys doing? Are you just observing the market? What are you guys planning for today's action? So looking into the 2 minute, we have this big fair value gap. On the 3, we have it too. So far, event horizon is acting as a resistance, so we can eventually march lower from here. If we stretch the projection a bit further, we can see that there's still some confluence here. Not as accurate as this one. This was very accurate. So I will leave this here. So price is now trying to disrespect event horizon, trying to disrespect the bearish fair value gap as well. And now it's time to see if it really wants to offer us some kind of inversion and retrace to the upside, or if it will just consolidate or eventually move lower from here. So looking at NQ and ES I'm searching for SMTs right now, and I cannot see any SMT on the lows. I mean, yeah, there's an SMT on the 1 minute in between ES and NQ. This was the SMT. And yeah, whenever we have an SMT in between ES and Q, right after taking liquidity like this, Friday's low, we can eventually expect a retrace higher. At this point, we have these highs here full of stops. So what I want to see now is these PD arrays being used as support just to drag price a little bit higher. We still have this volume imbalance that's not tested. We have a lot of stops here. And yeah, we have a lot of stops here as well because everybody who's been selling since the open at 9:30, they are still making money. So the algo tends to punish everybody who's making money in a one-sided market. We have a tiny bullish fair value gap here. Price is respecting it. Let me just check NQ. Yeah, but NQ seems to be a bit weaker. We are inside a macro, so this could eventually mark the beginning of some type of move. That's what I'm trying to figure out. In normal conditions, not in low probability conditions, this could eventually be a signal that we will go higher. But since we are inside low probability conditions and low probability environments, we cannot be certain about it. But this was a great reaction here. So in normal conditions, I would prepare for some type of long here. If price closes above this order block, these three red candles, it could give us the trigger that we need. But if you look into NQ did not manage to make another high here, so we have some type of an SMT here as well on NQ and ES. So that's not good for longs. So this is what we call a low probability market where you have SMT down here, and as soon as it reached the high, it gives you another SMT. So price is not certain about what it wants to do right now. And if you look at NQ and ES, it's kind of a different read that you have from price, and they should be just like twins. They should act like twins. Yeah, we got this fair value gap respected, so the bearishness is still here. Eventually, we will invert this bullish one, and we came back below event horizon, so this can mark a continuation to the downside. We were not able to close above these red candles here. That's why I'm not considering longs for now. Let me just check the 2 minute. The 2 minute, yeah, it's kind of clear here. It came for 50% of the 2 minute fair value gap. Yeah, the midpoint. On the 3 minute, yeah, I kind of respected the bearish fair value gap as well. The price not willing to give up to the upside, honestly. It's getting back up. And if we, at this point, if we have a close above these candles, the long can be once again in place. Yeah, we have an SMT here as well. So this can mark a continuation to the upside, is this SMT. So now I want to see closure above these two. There we have it. And eventually a return back into this, just to give us some type of entry. Yeah, but if you look at into NQ, NQ is a bit weaker, a bit heavier. Yeah, the macro is almost ending here, so no, not such a big move here. 15 handles since the bottom. And ES is moving to the upside, not giving us the retrace that we wanted. So this is typical of a low probability environment, as you can see. So usually whenever you have price action like this, price tends to move here, retrace, and boom. But yeah, it didn't. So it just came here. It's just doing this. So in order to be in some kind of position, you had to have an aggressive entry. Yeah, NQ came. It really came here, retraced back, but ES didn't. So we still might go here just to move a bit higher if we project this last. Yeah, this should be enough. Yeah, this projection would take us to the first presented fair value gap at minus 2.5. But no entry so far. Price is just pushing higher. It really came here, but it got 75 ticks away from my entry, almost a handle. And we will probably miss this entry since price is pushing. But this is typical behavior of low probability environments, honestly, where price just does not give you what you want. And yeah, that's why I just play demo on days like this and eventually tape read it or play some demo trades. Because price is not that clean, it has some minor imprecisions, and those minor imprecisions can dictate some drawdown on your account, because it can be frustrated to see this type of behavior and suddenly you will get into something because you're frustrated, and when you look into your balance account, hey, yeah, you will see the result of it. And price is slowly moving up. It's taking some time here at this fair value gap. This fair value gap on the 3-minute. Yeah, we have this order block as well on the 3-minute. So it can take some time to suppress that level. Just let me take another measure here just to see where price, if it really wants to go higher, just to see where it can go. -2 standard deviation would stand for the hourly fair value gap and midnight open. And eventually, yeah, and eventually the midpoint of the opening range gap. Just let me take a look at the regular trading hours as well. Yeah, we still have a lot of imbalances to fill. Just let me take a look here for further liquidity here. Yeah, we still have some liquidity here to the downside as well. Price taking some time here just to move to the upside. At this point, I will take out the order, we'll move this to the side because, yeah, price can eventually come here, but I will reassess my entry since it's taking so long here. It should be a quick move to the upside. We are also approaching a 15-minute time frame for fair value gap. So we have a new one that was formed as soon as the market opened. So if we look into the 15 minutes, this one right here, I will mark this one as well. So 15-minute fair value gap here. So it can happen that price comes here right at the end walk and then starts to roll down. Yeah, but so far these tape reading sessions and demo sessions have been great, honestly. So as you can see, macro just gave us a let me just check here. So 950 to 1010. A 10 handle move, nothing. 10 handles, that's nothing. So price is really slow right now, which is usual on bank holidays. That's why we are not trading real accounts or anything like that. Because in order to be profitable, it's not just taking wins. You know you you have to know when to step out of the market and to stay breed and avoid hard conditions. That's what a profitable trader is a guy that knows when how to stay away from the markets. It's not just, oh, this guy is profitable because he takes a lot of wins. Yeah, maybe he is profitable because he try to avoid losing days and losses, and it's not profitable because he has a super high win rate. Um, that's something that you have to have in mind if you want to be a profitable trader. You just have to know when to avoid days like these, and days where price is not that accurate, and it can really put you in trouble. Because imagine if we were long in a situation like this on a real account or a funded account or wherever, prices here for about 20 minutes now, and you start to think, oh, damn, it cannot get rid of this fair value gap. So meanwhile, if there's a red candle with displacement to the downside, you will almost immediately be at breakout, at break even, I mean. And this would put you in a huge amount of stress because 20 minutes has gone by, and yeah, these days tend to days like this tend to spend you a lot of mental capital. That's why I don't play real accounts on bank holidays or holidays as well. See, at this point, you would be starting to prey on your stop loss, right? Because the trend is a downtrend. There's some more liquidity behind us or below us, and yeah, price can come to your stop loss very quickly. That's why in normal conditions this should be a run to the upside very fast here. This should be some kind of a V-shaped recovery, where the first presented fair value gap would act as a magnet on price and would drive price higher. But it can still drive price higher, but it can do things like this. And you don't want to be in a market like this. And usually holidays tend to be very, very tricky. So those who are watching me, yeah, just tell me where you're from, guys. Just give me something to talk about. In markets like this, there's nothing that we can talk about. Just shoot a subject, or I don't know, or just tell me where you guys are from. For those who don't know me, I'm from Portugal, and I'm streaming from Portugal, from Aveiro. It's a this small city next to the ocean. It's like the Portuguese Venice. Uh, some guys like to call that, but it has nothing to do with the Italian Venice. It's a picturesque city, but yeah, it has nothing to do with Venice. We have I don't think there's an English translation for that. We have something that we call ria, which is it's just like a small river that yeah, that passes through the city, and yeah, it makes it really beautiful. It's a beautiful city, honestly. It's not because I'm living in it, but hey, yeah, it's quite beautiful. So what about you guys? Where are you guys from? Where are you watching me from? Yeah, so price is kind of stuck here. It's been 20 minutes and price is still struggling to the upside. If I look into the regular trading hours, you can see that price really stretched down, and it is now some type of a consolidation. I believe we will go a little bit higher since we have a lot of inefficiency here. But I don't know, we can eventually just take a measure of equilibrium here. We are now at equilibrium. We can go for 62% of it and then start to move lower once again. So the 62% has a confluence with the 15 minutes for value gap. So it, something like this can eventually happen as well. So guys, if you took any longs here, I would advise you to take some profits around here since it's taking too long. Right now, NQ is doing a better job than ES. It kind of grind higher. It creeped a bit higher, while ES is just consolidating. Um, but yeah, I'm proud about the reading that we had today. Right before the open, I was expecting low prices. As Friday's low, uh, as liquidity, as a drawn liquidity, it really came straight to it. No retraces, nothing at all. Just a retrace on the order block here. Uh, but this was not a point where you should enter because we were at -2 and -2.5 standard deviation. It could retrace a bit higher and then move lower. And honestly, that was what I was looking at. So at this point, when price reached here, I was expecting a retrace inside the time window 950 1010 and then a progression to the downside, hitting Friday low. But it really didn't happen. It came straight to the target that I talked about. And yeah, now it's just retracing a bit, in this. It's some kind of a diagonal consolidation where price creeps. It's creeping higher. It's not going higher. It's just creeping. Well, so far there is nothing that we can do, honestly. Um, but yeah, this is a stream on a bank holiday. It's not usual, I know, but since everything gets closed and the weather was not that enticing for anything to do outside here in Portugal, it was kind of raining some minutes ago. Um, but yeah, it's sunny once again. It's like a tropical weather. I don't know. So yeah, it was kind of raining, and I decided, okay, I will just stream. I will probably not do the full 2 hours that I used to. Probably be a shorter stream, but yeah, why not? That would that would be that would be good for me because I would that would be another session where I tape read and eventually take a demo trade or whatever. Yeah, and price is kind of struggling here. Very slow price action, as you can see. The first minutes were very nice, honestly. The first minutes were very clean price action and kind of violent here in the last couple of handles. But there's another tip. Whenever you have a drawn liquidity, imagine that you were expecting that price would go for, yeah, this is just a tip here. Yeah, you have your drawn liquidity here. You have your magnet. Let me just put here a magnet. God damn. This is a magnet. So you have your magnet here, prices doing whatever, it's just playing. And suddenly, the price will go there. And the last couple of handles, the last couple of um, candles to the downside are quite some aggressive candles. So whenever you have that, always keep in mind that whenever the market stretches these last candles to approach some type of drawn liquidity, there is a huge chance that price will revert because this can eventually be some type of a stop hunt, a stop hunt, just to hunt those stops and to purge that liquidity. Because in these types of situation, price tends to um, leave some low resistance liquidity here, which is a place where a lot of players put their stops in. And yeah, as soon as we take this liquidity, price is prepared to go to the upside in a aggressive way. So whenever you see aggressive candles right next to or right near the main draw, yeah, just this is just a add up. This is just a tip that you can use whenever you want to. But yeah, it usually happens. And there we go. See, price coming down once again. It took price to, it took 30 minutes for price to say, okay, I'm not convinced that I go further up. So that's why I was telling you guys, if you were long, to take some partials here, because at this point we will eventually do some kind of a retrace here and move once again back up, or we will seek lower prices. That's that's what I have to say here. In theory, I would like to see a retrace at least until this point here, the 15-minute fair value gap and the NWOG that you can see here in this shaded area. But yeah, sometimes Price does not reach those levels, and especially when it's heavy, and price is heavy today. You can see a lot of inefficiencies here that were not filled, so no retraces, so it can mark a heavy price. Yeah, NQ was able to go to the 15-minute fair value gap. ES went short to it, so since NQ took that retrace to the 15-minute, it can eventually mark a continuation to the downside. But at this point, I would like to see this event arising be inverted. I mean, I want to see price come down here, eventually use event horizon to as a resistance, and then move lower. So we are retesting the order block here, the fair value gap that got invalidated or inverted, I mean. So I'm just marking the next macro, the 1050 1110 macro. See, price usually tends to move from macro to macro, and yeah, it's not doing what it was expected. And see how price just suddenly at 1030, which is a random number, it just went to the downside. In normal conditions, movements like this should start inside macro times, inside macro hours. So that's another signature that price is kind of strange on a holiday, and this marks the low probability. Let me check the 2 and the 3 minutes. Yeah, on the 3 minute, we just hit the order block and displaced to the downside. Was, see, this order block. Yeah, you can consider this one as well. This was the bearish order block that secured this last move to the downside as well. So it seems like price is now progressing to the downside. It's trying to get rid of this type of support that we found here. I'll just put this just here. I will stretch this one to the right, because this is the one that I want to see if it holds or not. We have event horizon, which can be also a nice support for price. If you look into OT levels, you can see that ES is already on the last point of OTE on this leg. If we stretch it to the downside, we can see that equilibrium is still here. So this retrace, in theory, is acceptable. Nice displacement to the downside, to the upside. Let's see if price can invert this one here. So I have it. It's here. Yeah, this was a nice reaction from price, but kind of a strange one because we are outside a macro. Nice displacement to the upside. So price really came for that deep retracement on the OT levels. It came for the last for the last level. So at this point, price is just consolidating, as you as you can see. There is this range here that I would like to see violated, getting violated to the upside or to the downside. At this point, it's a 50-50 chance. We are approaching the macro as well. So we have about 10 minutes for the last New York AM macro. So yeah, guys, while we are waiting for some kind of action, yeah, if you're not subscribed yet, yeah, I invite you to be subscribed to the channel. I guess I will try to be here every day, just tape reading, demo trading, or taking eventually real trades on combine accounts from TopStep. So if you're not subscribed yet, yeah, just hit that subscribe button. If you did not drop your like, yeah, I invite you to do the same. That will gather us um, some more viewers and some more people into the stream, and it will help with the engagement as well. So yeah, guys, if you're not subscribed or did not hit the like button, I invite you to do it, honestly. Price trying to retest that inverted fair value gap, this one inside this range. See how we disrespect this and form some kind of a BPR here. So this is some type of a continuation to the downside. Event horizon will probably not hold. But if you look into the 15, you can see that we are kind of ranging here. This is the ranging box right now, where price is just time distorting. And we need to get out of this box in order to do something. Otherwise, you can be stuck. You can be stuck here inside with some shorts or some longs. That's why I'm moving this here, and we'll wait until further action. See, event arising is holding for now. Once again, reacting here. See, when price is like this, just time distorting, it usually is waiting for some type of trigger. And the trigger can be the macro time, the 1050 to 1110. And why is it 1050 and 1110, right? That you should have asked yourself that question already. Yeah, because this time window marks the last 10 minutes of a hourly candle and the first 10 minutes of an hourly the next hourly candle. So it really can those moments can really be volatile and can mark a direction on the next hourly candle. So that's why we always wait for the 10 minutes of the last candle and the 10 minutes of the first 10 minutes of the next candle. So that's why. So I will just wait for some type of macro action. If something happens, I will stay here a bit longer. If nothing happens, I will probably end my stream after the macro. As I told you, this would be a shorter version of my stream. So we are already 1 hour and yeah, 1 hour and 30 minutes already. So time flies, I guess. Yeah, guys, while we are waiting, just don't forget to drop your like. It will help with the engagement measures and engagement metrics, I mean. Um if you're not subscribed, yeah, just sign in. I think you will like the way I present these streams. Um I tend to be here every day from Monday to Friday, always the same time, 9:50, 9:20 New York local time. Um, yeah, and I tend to be on stream for about 2 hours. That's the trading session length. So uh, I promise that I will not be here for 4, 3, 5 hours straight. That's not what a trader needs to do in order to profit from the market. So yeah, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and eventually give it a like as well. It will both help with the engagement and bring more people in, because the more we are, the more we learn. I guess that's the mantra. Everybody is here to learn something. I already learned something from you guys. You might as well learn something from me. So yeah, it would be great to grow some kind of a community here with you guys. So still waiting here. Nothing. Price action has offered nothing for the last hour. Yeah. So it's just ranging here. The only thing that was really clear was the entry here, right at 9:30. This was a clean entry here. The first presented fair value gap, and then the market just displaced to the downside. So we had the run to the upside here, reopen. This was, yeah, I think I've drawn it in the first couple of minutes of the stream. So we had the accumulation here. We had the manipulation to the upside here. Yeah, I draw it. I've drawn it. So manipulation here and the distribution to the downside here, which was a large distribution. So yeah, here you have power of 3, as you want to call it. If you notice, yeah, there's some type of trick to mark these levels. You just have to be attentive about 9:30 open and see what the market has been doing previously. So the market accumulated here for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then it ran to the upside some minutes prior to the open. So whenever you have a run prior to the open or right after the open without any prior run, you can eventually consider this a manipulation on price. And as soon as 9:30 hit, we formed a inverted fair value gap. We respected the 15-minute fair value gap as well, and price just displaced to the downside, taking out Friday's low, which was our drawn liquidity. So this was done in the first minutes of the stream. If you go back, you will see what I've drawn. And yeah, this was the main plan for today's action. And I guess after a huge displacement to the downside, we will just consolidate as we are doing right now. It is what it is. The only entry, even if this was a normal day, I probably would have missed it because, yeah, there was no entry here. The only entry was here eventually because I tend not to use 9:30 open as an entry, and here you had to use it. Honestly, you could eventually waited for 9:32, but or you could eventually waited for a touch on the first presented fair value gap, which never happened. And yeah, price just displaced, and sometimes it is not possible to catch it. This was a running train here to the downside. It kind of stopped here because this was the -2 and -2.5 standard deviation point. But you can eventually expect some kind of a retrace here. And I was expecting a retrace. It never gave us the retrace. The order block was respected. And yeah, 3 minutes of a downfall here until Friday's low. And finally, price broke out here. And look at time. Look at time. What time is it? 10:50 inside a macro. So see what I was talking about. Price was kind of waiting for something to happen. And what happened? 10:50. 10:50 happened. 10:50, 11:10 is really something that price likes to see. So the first 10 minutes of a candle and the last 10 minutes usually mark some type of a macro movement that you can eventually catch on lower time frames. So we are right below the 15-minute fair value gap. There is no fair value gap to the upside offered here. NQ has one. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if this is a breakout to the upside or if we will just fake out this one here and move to the downside since we have some relative equal lows here. What did I do? Oh. Rejection on the 15 minutes. Yeah, so far these bearish PD arrays have been inverted, but I'm not sure about this one. I would like to see this stay as an inverted fair value gap. Yeah, so far we have some confluence here on this leg. As you can see here, price stopped right at minus 0.5, minus 1. So I'm expecting price to move a little bit further to the upside. So imagine that we were longing this. Our stop, so 2.5 standard deviation would stand for first presented fair value gap. Our stop should be secured below here. Let me check the 2 minutes. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's below the order block here. So if we would enter, this should be some type of a position. Notice that there's a lot of inefficiencies here. So I would like to see price progressing to the upside, but there's a lot of resistances here. As you can see, we have the N walk, we have the 15-minute fair value gap, we have another one here. It seems to me a reasonable position here. But yeah, it's a counter trend position, so we never know. So the first presented fair value gap should act as a magnet, as I told you some minutes ago. But yeah, this is not a position that you should take on a bank holiday, because this is a counter trend position. You have bearish high time frame PD arrays. You have an N walk. this is just working because it's on lower time frames, and it can eventually come down because we are already facing these um, major PD arrays on higher time frames. So in normal conditions, this should work, but I would like to see some type of speed here, and it's not giving us that speed so far. But yeah, it seems to me to be a reasonable um, entry, not a perfect one, and not the cleanest price action here, but yeah. So we still have some minutes inside the macro, 7 minutes, and 7 minutes should be enough to make us to make us some profit, or eventually to trigger some stops here. But as you can see, there's no follow through on movement. Price is really slow. It's not giving us what we want. And this is a typical holiday behavior. So if you missed this short move here, damn bro, you would have spent a lot of mental capital trying to chase something here. If you are playing in something as a real account or funded account or whatever. So I'm just curious to see. Let's take some more minutes before ending the stream. So you guys, you never told me where you guys from. Where are you from, guys? Just chat a bit in on the chat box. I will try to interact with you guys, and if you have some questions, yeah, just shoot them in the chat. I will answer them. So don't no worries about any type of questions. I'm here to be transparent with you guys, so you can ask me anything you want. So another small push to the upside here. As you can see, price is really slow right now. It's approaching 11. I mean, it's past 11 already, so that's why we are slowing down on price. Now let's see if we can invert that fair value gap that is right above where price is now. Yeah, but as you can see, it's not working. And we are getting outside of the macro already. And as you can see, that's why we are playing demo and not doing anything real here. Let's see if this was just a purge of liquidity, but it doesn't seem like that because we, at this point, we have an SMT right at the top in between ES and NQ. Let's just wait a bit more. See, this is not typical of a normal day. And that's why we don't play on real accounts on days like this. Yeah, so far price is kind of stuck here. I'm glad I did not engage with any type of real action because if you notice, I'm quite zoomed in. So these candles are quite small, as you can see here. So I'm glad I did not trade here today, and this is just a demo or tape reading session because anything besides the first move to our drawn liquidity, anything else just it's just garbage. It doesn't react as the way we want it, and everything is out of place, you know. The macro just give us something, but if you can see here, it just gave us 7 handles. It's nothing. It's nothing. So yeah, guys, I think I will end the stream here. There's nothing we can do. The price will just, it will probably move a bit higher, but in a high resistance form. I liked how price kind of reacted here. Um, but yeah, it will take ages probably to reach for the first presented fair value gap. And I'm not willing to spend my time looking at these candles right now. So I guess I will end the stream probably. Yeah, we got a last minute guy here saying he's from Portugal. Welcome. Seja bem-vindo, pá. Mais português. Muito bom. Fire Giant, welcome to the trading session, and welcome to the stream as well. So see, it's past 11 and it's starting to reprice higher. At this point, right at the end of the stream, let's take some more minutes just to see if we can disrespect this fair value gap. But yeah, as I was saying, price action is not inviting at all, so that's why I'm ending the stream probably in a couple of minutes. I'm just waiting. I'm curious to see how this will end here. At least some big candles right after 11. This is a pattern that I've been detecting as well. So whenever price does not give you anything until 11, it will probably give you anything after 11. So it usually should deliver in between 10 and 11, and at 11 it should stagnate. But the last couple of weeks have been quite inverted, so it usually tends to stop in between 10 to 11 or 9:30 and 11, and after 11 it starts to develop something. So this is the high. I'm just looking for what price is really doing here on the 15 minutes. But yeah, guys, it is too boring here to be watching this, so I will end the stream. I will probably be here tomorrow as well. It's Friday. I don't know if I will take some actual and real trades. It depends on how price will develop today. And yeah, taking into account that the days after a bank holiday can be a low probability as well. So that's the most important thing that you have to do as a trader, is to stay away from the markets when the markets are not primed. It's not just winning trades. It's more than that. It's to stay away from it and know that you don't have to trade every day just to be profitable. So keep that in mind. And yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do it. I invite you to do it as well. I will try to be here every day, and the more we are, I guess the more we learn. So keep that in mind, and share it with your friends that wants to learn something more about trading as well. That should help us in both ways. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you once again for being here. Have a nice afternoon. Enjoy the holiday if your country is in holiday. And yeah, I hope I will get some sun as well. But I think that's some gray some gray clouds are in the sky right now. So I don't know. See you tomorrow, guys. Okay. Thank you once again, and I hope to that you guys stay safe. Yeah. Thank you. See you. See you tomorrow.